It's no secret that Rincon is one of the best waves, not only in California, but quite possibly the world. But is it worth battling a Disneyland type crowd in hopes that you'll get one? I'm Brad Jacobson, and I run around chasing waves, the people who ride them, and tell stories about these adventures. Everyone was super excited when they saw the surf forecast. I left my house super early on a cold January morning to chase this swell to Rincon. It didn't take me long to realize I wasn't the only one who thought Rincon was going to be good. Traffic at 6:30 on this stretch of the 101, oh, that was my first clue. Pulling into a filled up lot before sunrise, oh, that was my second clue. Luckily, the backup lot still had spots, and maybe that was a good sign. So I packed up my camera gear and hit the trail. My first view from the trail was absolutely beautiful. This stretch of coastline is magical, and the waves that roll in here are equally alluring. Rincon is also known as the Queen of the Coast because of these waves. They have insane form and seem to go on forever. You can surf one of these from the point all the way into the cove. But she's also one of the most famous surf spots in California, which means similar to a downtown subway, people crowd in just to get a ride. See how I kept that PG? This day was a surfer's version of Beauty and the Beast. The waves were obviously the beauty. They had a bit of everything from wide open faces which invited big turns to makeable barrel sections. They went on for so long that I have to fully rotate just to film one wave. The size ranged from waist to slightly overhead with a few larger sets, which mostly caught everyone inside and remarkably went unridden. Unridden waves on a day like this, what's like seeing a unicorn? I'll get more into that in the beast part of this episode. This playful size left the talent spectrum wide open. We had everything there. Groms ripping way harder than their slight size would suggest. Average everyday surfers riding waves they'd be bragging about to friends later on. Mid-lengthers stylishly carving. Longboarders soulfully switching things up. And top pro surfers from around the world making it look way easier than it is. Pro surfer Yaden Nickel has been out of the water for about 2 months with a bad knee and had to watch the perfect waves from the sideline.
Firing, so yeah, I mean, I kind of live vicariously through my kid now.
Right.
So that's kind of, it gives me a little bit of thrill watching him get some, but yeah, this is brutal. Look at this, I mean, look, non-stop.
All right, on to the beast part of Beauty and the Beast. Let's start with the rocks. The entire shoreline is riddled with these, making your walk out slower and more harrowing. Oh, and these rocks are definitely not a good place to find your brand new board resting after losing it on a wave. The most frightful part of surfing Rincon is easily the crowd. Simply put, it gets straight chaotic. Sadly, less than a year ago, a surfer died after colliding with another surfer here at Rincon. On this day, I saw surfers dropping in on other surfers, boards flying towards other surfers, surfers almost getting run over, and even a combination of pure craziness just on one wave. This one is crazy. He had to maneuver around 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 15 surfers on one wave. This gets super close. Luckily, Corey surfs Rincon a lot and is an incredible surfer because look how congested this section gets. And then on this one, he literally has to go up and over this surfer. And here, once again, he's taking the high line to stay clear of this guy. Okay, this one is insane. He takes off thinking he's scored a gem to himself. As he's coming up to build speed, he sees one guy in his path. Dodges around him. The next guy politely pulls back. The next two guys are out of his way, but then he gets to this section and can only choose one path. He gets around them and then looks forward to the next section and realizes that yes, it can get worse. He navigates through them only to find 1, 2, 4, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and it's still going. 12, 13, and 14 more surfers all the way to the shoulder. You can always take Victor Bernardo's approach and root them on. That's a good approach to have. Or you can be patient like Chris and wait for the people to just kind of clear out. Rincon is home to an incredible wave. A wave that can offer lifelong memories to a surfer. A wave that breaks similar to those that people pay thousands of dollars to ride in the wave pool. But is it worth entering the Thunderdome in hopes to catch one? I just showed you some of the uglier sides of surfing Rincon. Now let me show you some of the gems to help you weigh in that decision. Most surf spots across Southern California are getting more crowded every day, and I personally don't see an end to the sport's growth. Surf etiquette and knowledge can go a long way to making the lineups more safe. I dedicated the previous episode to surf etiquette, and you can find it in the link shown here. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I'm Brad Jacobson, and I'll see you on the sand.